Good day everyone. So in yesterday's video we talked about TCG, and basically in the comment section and so on we went on to discussing and debating TCG, and one of the points that a lot of people have brought up is the fact that a lot of the quality of life changes that we want in Genshin Impact is just nowhere to be seen, whereas TCG literally gets more bug fixes and balance updates than we've ever had for all of the characters in the game. It's absolutely crazy. So very ironically to our discussion yesterday, the developers have actually separately now here on Genshin Impact posted their developer discussion. There's going to be some new quality of life things in 4.0. So let's have a look at it, and remember that whatever I'm about to show you here, 50 of the quality of life updates that we've wanted in Genshin Impact but are now in Honkai Star Rail are still not coming to Genshin. So just keep that at the back of your mind. Right, so the first thing that developers have said is that they're going to give us a multi-layered map. So for those of you that have played King Deshret's Mausoleum in 3.1, that you might have been confused with all the like underground terrains and ups and downs, and it was quite complicated. I mean, it was very difficult, I can imagine, for a lot of people to navigate when you have complex terrain, multiple layers. So finally, what was released in 3.1, which should have been released as a sort of quality of life change in 3.3, but they released TCG then, so yeah, that's where they put in the effort. Finally, we're going to get something in 4.0. So weeks, I don't know, what's this, like 42 weeks after the fact, we actually have something that is very applicable for a lot of players, because there's so many primo gems that are sitting behind like completing the King Deshret's Mausoleum. It's just crazy how much of this casual part of all this casual experience and enjoying the overworld has not been looked into. It's just like, wow, finally you guys woke up to the fact that we want a multi-layered map. It's just absolutely crazy. There's some other things here about quest tracking optimization, not really important. Hangout events, not really important. Display quests, so very minor stuff, not really anything for us to really write home about. But here's something that the developers have finally addressed. So look here at Genshin Impact memes. Nilo is busy completing the quest. She's completely busy. Like, this is something that is really problematic in Genshin. So sometimes you want to complete an Archon quest or an event, but another character is busy completing another thing. I've made mention of this 7 months ago, where I said I am locked out of completing the Archon quest, and once again, surprise surprise, people in the comment section said, oh, you're just in your own echo chamber, it's your fault, you should have completed it, it's your fault, you're the bad gamer, you're complaining without any good reason. And look at that, the developers finally caught up to the fact that their entire quest system is really causing a lot of trouble. Like, this whole different quest that you need to unlock and stuff, it's becoming a big mess. And finally, they have started to address this. Once again, this has been a big issue, not only for myself, for quite a number of people. You can see here, 154 people actively decided to click like on this post, so I'm assuming that I'm not the only one in my little corner that had a problem with this. I'm assuming that the 51k people that liked this very recent post on Genshin memes also kind of understand like the point about this. So yeah, it's finally good to see that this is being addressed. I mean, it would have been nice if in 3.3 we would have had this been addressed, but in any case. Okay, so that's what the developers are doing, and now we can sort of go on. So one of the more interesting things here is that developers have said for certain gameplay events, the development team has considered the possibility of making them permanent fixtures. Okay, since the inception of their development. Wow, where are these events? Don't tell me it's just TCG. However, based on our evaluation, some of them are not fleshed out enough in terms of content, blah blah blah. And so basically what they're saying is we will continue to plan more permanent content. That's very good news. I'll be honest, that is I'm very happy to hear we're going to get more stuff that can keep us engaged. The only question I have now is, what kind of event is this going to be? What type of content are you guys going to give us? So you can see here, they obviously took some inspiration from the divine ingenuity and the custom domains that people have been making, but you can also see that there is a very strong lack of mention of combat. So I'm very skeptical still of the permanent content that we're going to get, but it is good to see that the guys are finally realizing that, oh yeah, crap, we do need to provide something more to our long-term players than just something as stupid as TCG. Right, so onto the topic of TCG, and I mean, I'm not done bashing TCG. Let's look at it. So basically, when TCG was announced, Genshin Impact in the latest patch basically put up a massive tournament. They gave a prize pool of 270,000 USD dollars. So you can see here there's a lot of regional Genshin Impact, Genshin TCG tournaments. So this is still going to continue. So you can obviously imagine that they've put in quite a bit of work into this. Someone else here said like Genshin Impact was the answer to Hearthstone in China. Now, even if all of this is true, even if the Chinese player base love TCG so much, you can clearly see that the current state of the game, the way in which they buys you, and a lot of the quality of life changes that we really needed, all of these things have not been addressed, but everyone loves TCG, and you can understand now how I am so frustrated, because the state of the game is considerably lacking, and what we're doing is we're literally creating tournaments with prize pools, and guess what? The first one had less than 6k views. It started off strong 2 days ago, and then you can see, oh, sorry, my bad. It started off weak, and then it got better, but it's not like a lot of people really watch this tournament. I think I sort of showed to you guys here on YouTube, not YouTube, Twitter as well, that not a lot of people actually even liked this sort of event. Let's just go back one. Here in Genshin Impact, the official account sort of shows you only 3k likes. That's just absolutely sad. Hey, Phase Trials, literally 4 times the amount of likes. That's absolutely interesting. So you guys can see that TCG, at least for us as in the Western world, is just not as popular. And I know someone said, but you can't only look at Twitter because that's not the only source. You should look at Hoyo Lab. Yeah, it's got about 2,800 likes, and a lot of these comments are like, thanks for easy skip. I'm not going to play it. Oh yeah, this is something that was very interesting. Someone's like, can you add an auto battle function? Something I also suggested in my community post. Once again, it's not just me and my little echo chamber saying these things. Other people also express this, and no, I am not this user. Here is my profile. This is how I look. It's Kokomi Clan. You can find me here. I literally just repost my YouTube videos on here. But I think the point that I'm trying to make is I understand that there are people that love TCG. I understand that there are many people that have found quite a lot of good alternative gameplay value out of TCG, and we're not denying it, but I think to kind of keep on promoting something and literally leave your core game, your core IP, as also some of these people in the comments have said, it's just incredibly ridiculous. I mean, a lot of us have played Genshin precisely for the overworld, for the combat, for the exploration, and to have all of that be superseded by a permanent content mode that, quite frankly, not a lot of us have really asked for, but it's just absolutely crazy. So I think what Genshin tried to do was they might, and this is just pure speculation, they might have seen the collapse of Blizzard in CN, and they might have thought, well, this might be a good opportunity for them to get into the market, which in my opinion just furthers the idea that TCG could have been very successful as a standalone application, and then you could have developed that game and its merchandise as a companion to Genshin Impact. It would have made so much sense. But in any case, I think this was the gamble Hoyo put in. You can clearly see that with these tournaments, they are dead serious about this. And remember, we had the Spiral Abyss community self-organized without any intervention from Hoyo tournaments, and it's very clear that Hoyo was never interested in that, but they're interested in a card game. So we'll see where it goes, but I don't think, whether you love TCG, whether like me you don't like it, I don't think anyone can deny the fact that the quality of life and the state of Genshin Impact as a game is so bad, and for them to announce things that should have been there, that they could have used the TCG development time to give to us in the base game. Yeah, look, I'm just going to get more mad if I continue talking.